Okay, we're going to do the first induction, which is one method of a rapid induction. Judy, would you just sit forward in the chair a little bit? That's, yeah, not even that far. You can, about right there, that's fine. And just rest your hands in your lap. I'm going to have you take a nice deep breath, look at my hand, follow it down, and just let it all out. We're going to do 3 of those. First, second one now, all the way in, hold it, and just let it all out. Third one, all the way in now. Go ahead and exhale even though my hand's up here. As I count 5 to 1, I'll pass my hand down in front of your face and your eyes will follow and just close right on down. 5, eyes becoming a little sleepy, dreary, drowsy, heavy, wanting to close. 4, closing. 3, right on down. 2, 1, and just sleep right back. Let every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just be loose and limp and lazy. That's right. Relaxing more and more completely in the chair. As I raise your hand, it's heavy, loose, limp, lazy. And as I drop your hand back in your lap, it's important for you to double your relaxation right on down. That's right. This hand the same, relaxing it completely right on down. That's fine. Letting every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just be loose and limp and lazy. You'll notice the extraordinary quality of physical relaxation that, of course, is one of the characteristics of hypnosis. And we'll go ahead at this time and demonstrate a couple of simple things that may be useful in a clinical setting. One of them will be to establish ideomotor movements in the fingers. So I'm going to place your left hand here, Judy, where we can see it easily. And Suzanne, I'll have you just zoom right in on her left hand there, if you would. Judy, your subconscious mind is able to control many of the muscular movements in your body. It's able to control the beating of your heart, the breathing of your lungs, without any conscious effort or interference on your part whatsoever. And today, the subconscious mind is able to control the fingers and the thumb of the left hand so completely that you neither cause nor interfere with the movement of those fingers with your conscious mind in any way. You let your subconscious mind do the lifting for you. Should your subconscious mind be asked a question to which it chose to answer yes, let it indicate to me now which finger or thumb on the left hand would rise to signal a yes answer. And a lightness will begin to come into one of the fingers now, under the nail. That's right. And it will rise easily. The higher it goes, the lighter it becomes. That's right. As that finger relaxes, you go even deeper now. Should you be asked a question to which your inner mind chose to answer no, let it signal to me now which finger or thumb on the left hand would rise to indicate a no answer. And a lightness will come into one of the other fingers. That's right. Always allowing the subconscious mind to do the lifting, never interfering or causing the lifting with your conscious mind in any way. In the unlikely event that you should be asked a question to which your subconscious mind chose not to answer, let it signal to me now which finger or thumb on the left hand it will use to indicate I don't want to answer. And a lightness will come into one of the other fingers or thumb now. That's right. Okay, so we have yes, and we have no, and we have I don't want to answer. Just continuing to relax more and more completely now with every easy breath that you take, with every sound that you hear. I'm going to let you recline back a little in the chair, and as I do so, you get some support for your legs, which help you relax even more. And the more I tip you back in the chair, the more deeply and comfortably into hypnosis you go. That's right. Now, Judy, you've been to the dentist before, and you know what that numbing feeling is like in the jaw. And I'm going to ask you to reach up with your right hand in just a moment and lightly stroke the side of your jaw where you would like some numbness to come in there. I'll ask you to stroke it 3 times. The first time you stroke it, there'll be a light tingling coming into the jaw. The second time, that numbness will begin to penetrate deeper and deeper into the tissues. And the third time, that numbness will just pass all the way through that area of the jaw, and you'll just have a complete and total, just a perfect anesthesia there in that area. So I'd like you to reach up now with your right hand, which suddenly becomes light and easy to lift, and just reach up and gently stroke the side of your jaw where you want the numbness to come in. You feel the slight tingling coming in there. Stroke it a second time, it comes in even further. And a third time, it starts to penetrate all the way through now. As you drop that hand back in your lap, that suggestion takes place 10 times as powerfully. Just drop the hand and the numbness comes even more powerfully. That's right. The anesthesia coming in more and more to that area now. Now, as you feel that growing, I'd like you to describe a little bit to me how that side of the jaw feels compared to the other side.
Very thick.
Thick, all right? Sort of a, almost a swollen kind of a feeling? Or?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, a very interesting thing's going to happen. At the count of 3, I'm going to snap my fingers, and that thick, heavy feeling of anesthesia is going to jump from the right side of your jaw over to the left side of your jaw. The only difference is that it's going to be twice as numb. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. Now, describe how the jaw feels to me at this time.
Very numb.
Very numb. Which side of the jaw feels numb now?
The left side.
The left side, that's right. And now, at the count of 3, another interesting thing is going to happen for you. When I snap my fingers at the count of 3, your jaw's going to be completely normal on both sides, but that numbness is going to jump right down into your right hand, the entire area that a glove would cover. Completely numb, just like you had Novocaine there. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. How does your jaw feel now?
Fine.
Jaw feels fine. And how does the right hand feel?
I don't know where it is.
I can't even really seem to tell where it is. Just seems like it's almost not even attached, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Now, when I snap my fingers the next time, that's going to jump over into the left hand, and the right hand will be normal. There it is. Now, where's your right hand? There, right. And how about that left hand? How does that feel?
Heavy.
Very heavy? All right. Now, if I could have that other microphone here for just a moment. Thank you. I'm just going to put this mic here so that we can pick up your voice a little bit more easily. Just let yourself go deeper now, relaxing down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Way down deeply into this pleasant, relaxed feeling of hypnosis. Judy, when you're this relaxed, a very wonderful thing is possible. It's possible to be able to re-experience certain pleasant times in your life with the same feelings and thoughts and emotions that you had right at that time. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3, snap my fingers. You're going to be back in grade school, early part of grade school, a very pleasant day for you, a day when you're having a lot of fun in school, and you'll be able to tell me all about exactly what you're doing and see the same things and hear them and have the same thoughts and feelings you had right then. 1, 2, and 3, just be there now. Now give me a report. Where are you, indoors or outdoors?
I'm outdoors.
Outdoors. Daytime or nighttime?
The afternoon.
And how old are you?
I'm 6.
You're 6. Are you at school or are you at home? Where?
I'm at school.
You're at school.
Recess.
Recess. Would you zoom in on her face there? What's going on at recess? What are you doing?
I'm playing on the monkey bars.
Playing on the monkey bars. What do you have on today?
Oh, a dress.
Mm-hmm. Is it a pretty dress?
Yes.
Yes. What color is the dress?
It's plaid.
It's plaid, all right. Now, some of your other friends there with you?
Yes.
Good. Who's there with you?
My boyfriend, Jerry.
Your boyfriend, Jerry. What's Jerry wearing today? Look at Jerry and see what he's wearing.
Blue pants.
Blue pants. And a shirt?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What color is his shirt?
Oh, it's kind of gray.
Mm-hmm. And is it nice and warm out today?
Yes.
Look up in the sky. Are there any clouds?
No.
No, clear day.
The sun is shining.
Yes. Let's move ahead just a little bit until we go back into the classroom now. Let's go back into the classroom until you're in your seat. And where's the teacher now?
She's standing by the window.
Standing by the window. What's her name?
Lucille Heyer.
Mm-hmm. And Mrs. Heyer is standing by the window, and she starts to give some sort of an assignment now, or something you're going to learn next. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to add.
Mm-hmm. What are you going to add today?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. And is this on the board or is it on paper?
It's on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I like to draw on the board.
You like to draw on the board? Are you going up to the board now?
Yes.
Okay. You go up to the board now, and what are you putting on the board?
A fancy 1.
A fancy 1, huh? That's excellent. Are you proud of that 1?
Yes.
Yes. And then what?
A 2.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do with the 1 and the 2?
I add them together.
Mm-hmm. And you get?
3.
Good. You're really learning your math well, aren't you? Yes. Judy, let your mind grow clear now. Come back to the present with the same innocent, wonderful, peaceful joy of that day in school. Just bring that feeling right back with you now. That's just fine. Now, Judy, every time that you desire to enter into this wonderful depth of hypnosis, you're able to do so more rapidly and more quickly than the time before. Not because I say so, but because that's the nature of your subconscious mind, to respond more quickly, more profoundly with each repetition. I'm going to show you a very simple and a very easy and quick way for you to re-enter into hypnosis whenever you want by yourself. I'll take you through it with your eyes closed first and explain it to you, and then I'll have you practice it a couple of times, and then I'll bring you out of the hypnosis and have you enter right back into it yourself. It's so easy. When we do this technique, I'll have you pick out a spot on the ceiling with your eyes and stare at that, and we'll do that in a moment. And then you'll straighten your right arm out, just like this, as though you were holding it out. And you'll look at that spot. You can hold it up there, that's fine. You'll look at that spot, you'll take a deep breath, and as you exhale, you'll just let the breath go, and you'll just let your arm go, and it'll drop down like that. Your eyes will close automatically, and you'll go deeply into hypnosis. Now, I'm going to have you open your eyes now, pick a spot out on the ceiling, hold your hand out, take a deep breath all the way in, and then just let go right back down. That's right, deeper than before. That's right. Now this time, Judy, I'm going to count from 1 up to 3. The hypnosis is going to be over, and you'll feel very refreshed, very good. I'll ask you to take yourself right back into hypnosis with that technique, and it'll work for you very quickly, very deeply. You'll be even deeper in hypnosis than you are right now. 1, coming up slowly, gently, easily, and calmly, returning to your full clarity and awareness once again. 2, let every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just be loose and limp and lazy. You feel good. And 3, eyes wide open and feeling fine. How are you feeling?
Fine.
Good. What was that like to be back in the first grade on the
I loved it. It was fine.
That was nice, huh? Yeah. You knew you were here, and yet it was like you were there, too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, good. Can you describe the feeling in your hands and your jaw a little bit now that that's passed?
Well, I could feel it bounce from one side to the other.
Uh-huh.
But more profoundly, I could not feel this hand.
Just couldn't even really tell where it was.
I didn't know where it was.
Yeah, yeah. Take yourself right back into that hypnosis. Will you do that? Way down. That's right. And as you can see, she has the same beautiful state of relaxation that she had when I placed her into hypnosis. Every time she uses that technique, it will be easier and easier for her, and she'll soon get to the point where she does not even utilize the raising of the hand at all. She will simply take aim, take a deep breath, and let go. And if you are instructing clients in the use of this technique, you want to tell them to realize that just like when they take aim with a rifle, the longer that they try to steady the aim, the more unsteady they become, the more likely they are to miss the mark. So you don't want someone sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and making sure that they're going to do it right and sure and hesitating and hesitating. Have them keep it simple. They just pick a spot, they take a deep breath, exhale, and just let it go right down. And it'll work very well for them. They'll be able to reach an excellent state of hypnosis very easily. So that will end this particular induction technique and some of the other things that we've shown, and we'll go on to another technique in just a few moments. Next method of induction will be the Ellman technique, or the Dave Ellman method of inducing hypnosis. So Vicki, just make yourself comfortable in the chair if you would. I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in, look at my hand, and just follow it right on down and let your eyes just close. That's just perfect. I'd like you to imagine relaxing the muscles around the eyelids to the point where opening them would really be more than you even want to concern yourself with. Just relax them to the point where they don't even want to work. And when you're certain in your own mind that you've relaxed them that completely, that they don't even want to open, just give them a little try. You'll find the more you try, the more they even want to work. That's right. Just let them stay that way now. And send the relaxation from your eyelids right down to your toes, right out to your fingertips. Let it just cover you like a blanket. To be certain that you followed the directions as well as I think you have thus far, I'm going to pick up your right hand in a moment. Let me do all the lifting for you. Just leaving it nice and heavy. That's perfect. And when I drop it at your side or in your lap, it falls heavily, and you double your relaxation as it drops right on down. That's excellent. To help you get a good mental relaxation now, to go along with your physical relaxation, I'm going to ask you to count slowly backwards for me from 100. Every time you say a number, I want you to double your relaxation. Literally double it mentally and physically. And that way, by the time you get down to about number 97 or 96, the rest of the numbers will just fade right out of your mind and disappear. Don't worry about how that happens. Just think how nice it would be to have that happen so that you could be that relaxed and accomplish your goal in a smooth and easy manner. Watching the numbers begin to fade away, counting right out loud, beginning with 100 now.
100.
Double your relaxation now and just let the numbers begin to fade.
99.
Letting them fade more and more completely now.
98.
And now just order the numbers away like you were sending them right over a hill, and just watch the last one go. And now just check and see that all the numbers are gone for you. All the numbers gone for you, Vicki? Mm-hmm. That's fine. You always want to check and be certain that all of the numbers have been completely eliminated from their mind, so that you're certain that you have that good state of somnambulism. So we'll go on to another induction method in just a moment. The next induction we'll do will be just a rapid induction that has been popularized by Gil Boyne. And this can be done with any size of person. I don't have to be larger than she is, as long as you follow a couple of basic principles. And after I do the induction, I'll explain it sort of in a slow motion way and show you exactly how to place your hands and things like that. So, Dorothy, if you'd take one step forward, please, and place your feet completely together. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Just exhale now and sleep right on down. Just let yourself go. You can stand and sleep. And the more I rock you, the deeper into this feeling that you go. That's right. Every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just loose and limp and lazy. You can see the quality of relaxation here. And you can stand and relax even more completely. Every nerve and muscle and fiber around the neck area is loose and limp and lazy. And I'm turning the head here for two purposes. One, it's a bit disorienting to her, which just helps her go deeper. And secondly, I'm also looking for a quality of letting me do the turning as opposed to her helping me do the turning. So I'm getting a nice easy heaviness in the muscles there. They're just relaxing, and she's going even deeper as we talk right now. Now, one method of a little bit of a test for them, you know as a hypnotherapist when they're in trance, but sometimes if they're new at hypnosis, they may not know or be comfortable with it. So a simple thing is just to show them that they have good eye closure or eye catalepsy. So I'm going to place my hand here on the bridge of your nose, Dorothy, and I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. The count of 1, find your eyelids locking tight, so tight that any effort to open them makes them just lock tighter. 5, eyes pressing down. 4, pressing and sealing. 3, sealing as though they were glued. 2, any effort to open them makes them even lock tighter, and 1 eye's locking tight. Go ahead and try. When you're satisfied, just say, I'm satisfied. Now just relax and sleep now, right on down. Every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just loose and limp and lazy. Normally for clinical purposes you're not going to stand for a long time, but for the purpose of our demonstration, just this little bit of rocking back and forth helps her relax more and more completely. If you do a standing induction, of course, you want to make sure that you have the person take a step forward and put their feet completely together. The reason for taking a step forward is primarily that they are already then following your directions. There's a subtle message that you are in control here, and they are following your instructions already, which just makes them more likely, and it's easier for them to follow the next set of instructions that you give them. You want their feet completely together because you don't want them to be particularly in a well-balanced state, since part of the method of induction here is a sudden loss of equilibrium and a turning over the responsibility for their balance to you, so I want her feet completely together. It may have looked as though I did a lot of pulling on the back of her neck, but in reality, most of the pull happens with the left hand. I'm going to straighten you up, Dorothy. You can keep your eyes closed and continue to relax. My hand is here, but my other hand is basically here behind the arm. The fingers are a little hooked in, because if she starts to fall, I can support her here. Okay? And it's then very easy for me to even move my other hand and support her more if I need to. So I do have hold of her here. It's not so critical because of our relative sizes, but if you're working with someone that's larger than you particularly, you want to make sure that you have 1 foot in front and 1 foot slightly behind, so that you're not standing like this and all of their weight comes forward and you both go crashing backwards. So kind of position yourself with 1 foot forward and another foot to brace you behind a little bit. Most of the pull happens with this arm. Part of what the right hand is doing is turning the head so that she doesn't bang her nose into my shoulder. I'm turning the head a little bit and she's coming right forward onto there. Some people will collapse right onto you and give you all of their weight, and you may need to immediately give them the suggestion you can stand and support your weight. Your legs are strong beneath you. You may feel their legs buckling right underneath them. Other people may simply not lose all of their equilibrium and yet to go into a very nice state and just continue to balance themselves. After we have done this, I'm simply going to say to Dorothy that I'm going to back you up. There's a chair behind you. Take a slight step back. When you feel the chair on the back of your legs, you'll sit down and go even deeper into hypnosis now, right on down. Just loose and limp and lazy, doubling your relaxation when I drop your hand here, right on down. That's fine. Okay, we'll go on to the next induction technique in just a few moments. All right, this particular induction technique is one version of the handshake technique. Sam, just let me have your hand here, just sort of like we're shaking hands that way. I'd like you to look right over here in this right eye. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to do 3 of them. Fill up your lungs, exhale, calm and relax. That's right. Second deep breath all the way in now. Calm and relaxed. Third deep breath all the way in now. All the way out, and just sleep now. Let every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just go loose and limp and lazy. Now, this gives me a good grip on the hand to do it this way, and I'll just rock the hand back and forth a little bit, and you just relax more deeply as I gently rock your hand. An alternative method there would be after the 3 deep breaths. If I'm not getting an obvious beginning of trance like I was with Suzanne, I would have perhaps said, all right, here we go. I'm going to count from 5 to 1 now. With each count, your eyelids begin to close and become heavy. Now, on or before the count of 1, they're closing. 5, eyes becoming a little sleepy, dreary, drowsy, heavy, and wanting to close. Probably have my hand up here. They're looking at my eye, but they're aware that the hand is coming down, and that's the sort of nonverbal suggestion for their eyes to come down and for their whole mind and body to relax down. 4, the next time you blink, that's the relaxing feeling of hypnosis coming over you. 3, eyes closing and wanting to close, and 2 and 1. And then sleep right with the 1. If you have the eyes already well closed, they're way ahead of you, don't do a strong jerk on this hand, because you may pop them right back out in a sort of surprised way. It's just not going to be necessary at that point. What I would do if she was ahead of me and had already dropped right down, eyes were closed, I would just rock the hand a little bit and say, now when I drop your hand, just double it there, right on down. I just drop it. I wouldn't give a strong jerk to it. All right, we'll go on with the next technique in just a moment now. All right, a couple of seated inductions here now that are also fairly rapid inductions and utilize a little bit of a loss of equilibrium as well. Brian, I'd like you to just sort of place your hand right against mine and keep a little bend in your elbow there so that you can push strongly. It won't be a contest of strength, but I would like you to sit forward just a little bit and give a good push, steady push there with your hand. And look right over here in this eye. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to do 3 of them. Keep pushing. Exhale. Calm and relax now, right on down. That's good. Pushing even harder. Second deep breath all the way in. And exhale now. That's right. Third deep breath all the way in. And exhale. Here we go. 5 down to 1. Eyes wanting to close. Becoming a little sleepy, dreary, drowsy, heavy. 4, 3, wanting to close. 2, and 1. And just sleep now. Let every nerve and muscle in your body just go loose and limp and lazy. That's right. Now what sometimes will happen is that you won't have any real beginning of dropping into trance here, and the body will still be held upright, and there'll be a strong push here, and when I pull my hand away, his body may actually come forward, and that may be the loss of equilibrium. But for him, he already dropped into trance so quickly that his body went back. Often with this technique, you'll see them go forward, and you can actually put your hand behind here and just bring them forward more, and they may almost be laying over in their own lap, and then you can straighten them back up. That's just fine. I'm going to just bring Brian out of the hypnosis here and do another, you can just leave the camera on and just do another induction here. The count of 3, Brian, open your eyes feeling very good, fresh, and rested. 1 coming up, 2, very good now, lightening, fully aware, and 3, eyes wide open and feeling fine. Good. How are you feeling?
Fine.
Good, great. Brian, let's do a little different method while you're sitting here. I'd like you to hold your hands out just like this, if you would. And can you get all of his hands in and everything? That's great. Brian, I'm going to give you some simple instructions, and while I do, if you'll just keep your eye right up here on my right eye, please. In a moment, I'm going to place my fingertip right between the palms of your hands, and I'm going to ask you to look at that. Then I'll count from 3 down to 1. At the count of 1, I'll ask you to close your eyes. Now, the instant that you close your eyes, you're going to feel your hands starting to come together like this. Not because you're making it happen, but because I want you to imagine that there is a powerful magnet in the palm of each hand. And since your subconscious mind works on mental images, the more that you imagine that, the more powerfully the magnets will come together. And of course, the closer they get, the more powerful the magnets come together. Now, you could stop that from happening, obviously, with your conscious mind at any time, but that's not why you're here. Just let your subconscious mind do its work. The instant that your hands touch in any manner, the minute that they touch, let a pleasant, relaxed feeling come all the way up to your shoulders. Let your arms become just heavy, loose, limp-like, like wet dish rags, and just let them fall right in your lap, and a pleasant, relaxed feeling comes over your entire body. All right. Nice deep breath all the way in now, looking at my finger, following it down as you exhale now. I'm going to count 3 to 1. At the count of 1, please close your eyes. I'm going to move my finger away now. Don't follow it. Keep looking at the imaginary point where it is right now between your hands. 3, 2, and 1. Eyes closing now. Hands beginning to come together, moving in and wanting to touch, closing and wanting to touch, moving and wanting to touch, closing and wanting to touch, moving and wanting to touch, almost touching when they touch. Everything goes loose, limp and lazy right in your lap. A pleasant feeling comes all over your body. You just let go way down. That's right. Now that may be perfectly adequate for a good deep state of hypnosis right there. Sometimes you will just see that you got the response. They followed the directions. And then you might go into the Elman technique from there, or to just lift and get a good heaviness and have them double it and just comment on what a nice physical relaxation it is that they have, and now they can get that same relaxation in the eyelids and You get a good eye closure and then perhaps go on into Elman or something else. It's a nice beginning. Sometimes it's a perfectly adequate induction just by itself. Another alternative here is as the hands are coming together, at the very instant that they touch, and Brian, you're able to keep your hands out there again and hold them out there yourself. At the very instant that they touch, they're coming together now, coming together, almost touching, almost touching. You have to get your timing right. You grab the hands and you pull forward and you say the word sleep and drop them here, and then I normally go to the head and get some good rotation there. The timing has to be good, but it's more of a loss of equilibrium. It's more of a surprise, more of an instantaneous or a rapid induction, and you will normally get a more quick and deeper induction than you will just letting them do the entire thing on their own, unless, of course, you come in with some follow-up technique after that. All right, that will finish this particular segment right now. Brian, I'm going to All right, this next technique of induction will be the direct gaze technique, and this takes a great deal of confidence and control in your own speech and breathing, and yet it's a very, very excellent technique and works very well. Vicki, I'd like you to just give me all of your attention right up here on this eye, if you would. Take a nice deep breath all the way in and exhale. We're going to do 3 of them now. Second deep breath all the way in and exhale. Don't remove your eyes from mine until I ask you to do so. Third deep breath all the way in. Exhale. All right, here we go. 5 eyes becoming a little sleepy, dreary, drowsy, heavy, and wanting to close. 4, the next time you blink, that's the relaxing feeling of hypnosis coming over you. 3 eyes wanting to close and closing and closing, and 2 and 1, and just sleep now. Let every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just be loose and limp and lazy. Now, Vicki, I'm going to give you a special signal whenever I snap my fingers and say the words sleep or sleep now. Your eyelids always close down immediately. You go more deeply into hypnosis than the time before. Whenever I give you the signal sleep or sleep now, your eyelids close back down automatically. You go deeper into hypnosis than the time before. At the count of 3, your eyelids are going to open, and you'll look right up here at me. When I give you the signal sleep now, eyelids back down, go deeper into hypnosis than you already are. 1, 2, and 3, eyelids open, and sleep now. Close them right down deeper than before. That's fine. Once more, 1, 2, 3, eyelids open, and sleep now. Close them right down. Once more, 1, 2, 3, eyelids open, sleep now. Close them right down. Once more, eyelids open, 1, 2, 3, sleep now, and just go deeper. That's right. Deeper into this pleasant feeling with every easy breath that you take, with every sound that you hear. That's right. Now, the reason for doing that is just a lot of compounding. Every time she's going deeper, she's going deeper, she's going deeper. It's a step down every single time. This is a good technique, particularly to do, regardless of what original induction you do, just to deepen for a person who is a little bit unsure about their ability to get a good workable state of hypnosis. All right, Vicki, at the count of 3, you just open your eyes, feeling very, very good. 1 coming up, lightening from your deep breaths now. 2, getting ready to open your eyes. And 3, eyes wide open and feeling fine. How are you feeling?
Fine.
Good. Everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
Comfortable? Good. Just sleep now. Right on down. Loose and limp and lazy. That's right. So the post-hypnotic suggestion was there that each and every time that we did that, she would go right back into hypnosis even more deeply than the time before. This is an excellent time saver, if nothing else, for when you're going to do hypnosis with the person again in the future. Okay, we'll go on to another technique now in just a moment. Vicki, this time when you open your eyes, all right. This is a technique that I might use with someone. Certainly it would be only a first time that I would use this technique. Someone perhaps that I felt was a little uncomfortable with hypnosis. They weren't so sure that this was for them. Some individuals you want to do a lot of explaining about what hypnosis is and make them very comfortable, and other times I'll choose to just keep it real simple. So this would be an example of me maybe talking with a client a little bit, first time that we've met, and I've decided to take the route of sort of minimizing anything very special about hypnosis at all. It's just a common everyday occurrence, and I'm going to begin a little talk with Judy now as though we were working on that basis. Judy, do you picture things fairly well in your mind? Are you a visual person? Okay. You drove here today?
Yes.
Okay. Would you mind closing your eyes for just a moment and imagine that you're sitting behind the steering wheel, looking down at the speedometer. You got that in mind?
Yes.
Good. Now we don't care about accuracy here, so just whatever you get in your mind's eye. What is the shape of the speedometer? Is it round, half moon, oblong, digital?
It's round.
Round, all right. And what is the color of the needle?
Red.
All right. And the color of the numbers?
A red.
Good. All right. Go ahead and open your eyes now. Now, when you do that, the part of your mind that allows you to get those images is the same part that's active in hypnosis. It's what we call the subconscious mind, or it's a little more the right half of the brain that's active, part that lets you get creative images and daydream and things like that. The left half of the brain isn't real active when you do that, because if it was real active, you would have immediately opened your eyes and said to me, Rick, if you want me to picture my speedometer, I'll go down in my car. How am I going to do that when I'm in your office? But you weren't bothered by that. You were able to imagine it, even though you weren't there. Now, you knew, and I knew, that you weren't really in your car. There was no effort on my part or on your part to fool you into thinking that you were actually in your car. It's kind of a feeling of being two places at once, or having two parts of your mind working at the same time. Does that make sense? One, you know, like one part of your mind knows that we're doing this, and another part of your mind is getting these images from the speedometer. That's really what it feels like in hypnosis as well. I'll give you another example of it. And close your eyes again for just a second, if you would. Do you enjoy the beach and the ocean?
Yes, I do.
Great. Would you just place yourself on just a slight bluff overlooking a nice stretch on the beach, and just kind of picture the waves coming in and the undertow going out. Can you get that in your mind?
Yes.
Good. And put a person or two in there on the beach, and just kind of focus in on one of the persons on the beach, and just kind of describe that person to me, what they're wearing and what they're doing, if you would.
It's a young boy with a windbreaker on. And
what color is his windbreaker?
blue.
Okay.
And he has shorts on, and he's barefooted.
All right. Great.
And he's picking up things off the beach.
And you can see him walking along there. Great. Just a little time pass as you continue to look out there on the beach, and it's evening now, and it's starting to get dark. And you notice, as it gets dark enough to notice it, that up high above you is a beautiful full moon. Can you picture that?
Yes.
Good. I'd like you to imagine looking at that moon like you were looking at it, right up through a hole in the high part of your forehead. I mean, it's that high above you. That's right. Just let your eyes roll back up there and just look out through that part and keep staring at that moon. And you'll find that as long as you keep staring at that moon, that your eyelids just feel like they don't even want to work. It feels like opening them would just be almost too much to bother with. In fact, as long as you keep looking at that moon, go ahead and give it a little try. You'll find the more you try, the more they just don't even want to open. Just keep looking at the moon there. That's kind of strange, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Just relax your eyes now. Let them be heavy. Let's come back to the beach. And notice that there's a little set of steps. 10 steps. They're heading down to the beach below. And as I count from 10 to 1, I want you to imagine that you're coming down these steps, relaxing a little more with every step, always able to hear my voice as we just continue to work together here. 10, taking hold of the handrail, starting down. 9, let yourself relax a little bit more. 8, just adjust your breathing a little bit. Feels so nice. 7, 6, just go deeper now. 5, halfway down. 4, 3, start to notice the white sand on the wooden steps. 2, and 1. And as you step off the last step, it's as if there are giant magnets under the sand that seem to pull all the stress and tension right out of your body. You feel 10 times deeper and more relaxed. As you can see, we have an excellent state of hypnosis here with Judy, and there was really no point at which I even said, now I'm going to hypnotize you. Okay. I just was showing her what it's like to let the subconscious mind be more in the forefront. So there was never any part there that would have been threatening to anyone new at all. I often will insert a version of the Elman technique before I even head down the steps, or maybe in lieu of heading down the steps. And after she has kind of looked at the moon and found that she can't open her eyes, and by the way, it's a physical impossibility to open your eyes as long as you keep them rolled up in the head. So, that's kind of a deceptive thing for her. If you actually do keep the eyelids rolled up that high as though you were trying to look out through a spot in the head, you cannot open your eyes. It has nothing to do with hypnosis. It's just a physical reality. And if you're concerned about getting a good eye closure, then you can bring in that special physical quality as well to make sure that they're going to be successful in the eye closure. Okay, if I were going to introduce the Elman technique at that point, it would have been something like, now as you just sit there and continue to look out at the beach, I'm going to ask you to count slowly backwards for me and just kind of let the numbers just begin to fade away, so that by the time you get down to, let's say 97, it's like there aren't even any more numbers. Just let them fade away. You make it no big deal, and they will do just fine with the Elman technique at that point. Okay, we'll go on to another technique here in just a moment. Judy, going to have you open your eyes at the count of 3. Feel very rested. Okay, we're going to use the technique that's called the Wolberg arm levitation technique. And so what we're going to do today is just have you place your hands right in your lap. That's just fine. Just kind of separate them a little bit, one hand on each thigh there. And in a moment, I'm going to have you close your eyes and just kind of direct your attention down to your hand, to your right hand actually. And then I'll begin to count slowly for you from 1 up until 20. As I begin to count, you'll feel a slight lightness beginning to come in under one of the fingernails, working its way up over the rest of the hand and finally up into the arm itself. The hand will begin to become light, and you'll feel like it's just too much trouble to hold it down. It'll start to raise, and it will come over, and it may come over to rest against your stomach or your chest or higher or even up by your chin. And when it does touch your body, you'll just find that you relax even more deeply, and your head can even come right forward on your chest and relax if you want at that time. All right, just make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. I'd like you to focus your attention in on your right hand now. Try to become aware of the temperature of the room on the back of your hand. And now shift your attention over to the left hand and notice whether that's warmer or cooler. Now shift your attention back over to the right hand and become aware of the texture of the material under your fingertips. Compare it with the texture of the material under the left hand. Now be aware again of the right hand. Try to be sensitive enough to actually pick up the beating of the pulse in the right wrist. And as I count up from 1 to 20 now, with each count you find a lightness coming into that right hand and arm, and it will just want to move and float and lift it and rise, and you just let it do so, letting the subconscious mind do the lifting for you. Number 1, the first feeling of lightness coming into one of the fingers now. Number 2, a lightness coming under one of the nails and up over the first and second knuckle. Number 3, the lightness begins to come up over the back of the hand now. And on number 4, spreading around actually into the palm of the hand as well. On number 5, the hand continuing to grow lighter and lighter. Number 6, the first slight movement of the muscles of the hand. Number 7, the lightness beginning to spread now up into the wrist and up towards the forearm. On number 8, you become aware of how heavy the left hand has grown by comparison, almost like it were made out of granite or wood. Number 9, the right hand beginning to feel so light that it feels like trying to hold it down is really too much work. On number 10, the lightness spreading up towards the elbow now. On number 9, the hand starting to move and lift and wanting to rise. Number 10, moving and lifting and wanting to rise. On number 11, moving and lifting and wanting to rise, feeling like it's just lighter than air. Number 12, feeling as though it were lighter than air, like a gas-filled balloon. Number 13, you notice how heavy the left hand is by comparison. On number 14, the right hand is growing lighter and lighter now. Number 15, the hand is wanting to move and float and lift and rise over towards the body. On number 16, the hand is coming in towards the body, and when it touches the body, you just go deeply into hypnosis. Number 17, moving right in. 18, 19, and 20 now, and just let go. Loose, limp, and lazy, relaxing more with every easy breath that you take and with every sound that you hear. And that will be the Wahlberg hand levitation. If I'm not getting the movement that I want by about number 15 or so, I'm going to suggest to her that I'm going to be tying a light cord around her right wrist and running the other end up to a pulley that's over her left shoulder, and I'm going to be pulling on it steadily with each count. Or I might suggest that I'm tying a light string that's tied to a big helium balloon, and it's becoming lighter and lighter, and the wind catches it. Regardless of what kind of a response I get with this, here we had a complete response that served as an excellent induction. If I get virtually no response, I'm going to ask them, now tell me how the right hand feels compared to the left hand. And if they tell me anything like, well, I think it's a little bit lighter, and I say that's excellent, because, you know, really there's no rational reason that the right hand should be any lighter than the left hand. And I let them know that they've achieved 100% success, even though they didn't move the hand perhaps at all or just a short bit. I want them to know that they're successful, that they did better than most people do on the first experience, and that they'll be able to relax even more deeply and use their subconscious mind even more powerfully in hypnosis the next time. Okay, that'll finish that particular induction. Today we're going to use a technique to let you gain control over any discomfort that you've been having in the head or neck. I'd like you to use your imagination now, use your inner mind, that creative ability of your inner mind to go deep within to a special place that's like a control room. It's a room that controls all the functions of the mind and the body. It's a room that you'll easily recognize because it has a lot of levers and dials and lights and meters. And when you're there in that room, just let me know. I want you to describe one or two of the things to me that you see there in your room, Suzanne. Levers. I'd like you to find the lever that controls the feeling in your head and neck. It'll be well marked. It's easy to find. And when you find it and you're standing in front of it, just describe it to me. A big lever that goes vertical. All right. Can I have that other microphone there, please? And are there any sort of markings or numbers along this lever?
It has like a bubble, like a balance kind of thing.
A bubble, sort of like a lever would have, a level would have, yes, okay. And when your neck feels really good, where is that bubble? Is it off to one side or it's in the middle? And where does the bubble seem to be now?
Partly off to one side.
Partly off to one side. And where does the lever seem to be?
It's low.
It's low, right? I want you to take hold of the lever and begin to move it right up to the middle, and see what that does with the bubble. Make sure it's going in the right direction, and let me know. All right, I want you to continue to take it there, and you'll find that the more perfectly centered the little bubble is, the more perfectly balanced, comfortable, and relaxed all of those muscles and nerves, ligaments and tendons are in the neck area. It's as though you're balancing the perfect energy flow on each side of the body. And when the lever is right where it should be, and the bubble is right there, that neck area is so comfortable, so peaceful, so balanced. Really nothing about it bothering you in any way. And when you've got that bubble in the middle, I just want you to let me know. And how does your neck feel now? Better, that's right. I want you to look and see if there isn't another control nearby. Perhaps it's a button or another small lever. It's often blue colored. Can you find that? Mm-hmm. All right, and what is that control? Is it a lever? Is it a button? It's a button. And this button is in control of a feeling of anesthesia in those nerve endings throughout the neck area. And every time that you push it, and I don't want you to push it yet, but every time that you do push it, you get a wonderful feeling of relief in that neck area that just spreads deeper and deeper into the tissues. Go ahead and push it now, and feel that first wave of relief coming in even more deeply. Push it twice more. And a third time. Tell me how that area of the neck's feeling now. Kind of numb? Mm-hmm. Well, you'll have a real clear sense of where your head is on your neck, because you have full ability to be aware of perfect balance. You can move your neck easily, but it's so relieved. Nothing in that area bothers you at all. Now you can go right back to this control room so easily whenever you desire to. All you have to do is pick a spot out on the ceiling, focus your eyes on that spot, take 3 deep breaths, and as you exhale each breath you think the words calm and relaxed, and you send a wave of relaxation from your head to your toes. As you exhale the 3rd breath, or even before, your eyelids will close right back down. You'll be just as deeply relaxed as you are now, right back in that control room. Always make sure that your lever is in the perfect position, and by the way, lock it in that perfect position right now. There's a little locking mechanism on the lever there. Do you find that? Good. Make sure it's locked there. And give your button one more push for good measure there. You can always return to that room whenever you want. You'll also find there are other controls there, things you can use to control any kind of discomfort that you ever might encounter. Those techniques and those controls are there for you, and they work very, very well. All right, at the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. You're going to bring this wonderful, balanced and numbed feeling with you, even after you open your eyes. 1, slowly, gently, easily, and calmly returning to your full clarity and awareness once again. 2, let every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body just be loose and limp and lazy. You feel good. And 3, eyes coming open now, fresh and feeling good. How are you feeling?
Better.
Good. Much better. Good. All right. Just go ahead and sit up and see how good that neck feels.
It's good.
Feeling good? All right. Great. Thank you very much. Okay. right, this technique would be one that I would only use if I had some knowledge that the person was going to be an excellent hypnotic subject. I had done some sort of suggestibility exercise, perhaps a lightening of one hand, a heavy weight in the other hand, something we'd maybe done in a group setting. Maybe I'd gotten a good eye closure, and then I would proceed as I will now. There are 3 points on the face that we actually call hypnogenic points, and this is a rather unusual kind of an induction because it's very instantaneous and immediate. But the reason that I want to use it only with a client who is I know, going to be able to enter into hypnosis very quickly and very deeply is that using these 3 particular points, if she doesn't enter into hypnosis, then it can create a little problem for her, but I'm sure that it'll be no difficulty for Judy because she's done very well before. So we just have you sit a little bit forward here. And as I said, if she goes rapidly into the hypnosis, then it's no problem at all, and I would only use it with someone that I know can do that. Okay, so I touch these 3. Just sleep now, right on down, way down. Every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body loose and limp and lazy. Now naturally, as you focus back upon me here, Brian, there's no such thing as a hypnogenic point on the face. Okay? But a suggestion was given to her that if she did not go deeply into hypnosis, it could present a problem for her. I didn't tell her what that was, but she didn't want that. Doesn't want that to happen. Okay, so there's a real motivation there for this person to go into hypnosis, and that technique you can use, but you definitely can use it as the first time for a person, but you've got to have some way to sort of preface it and build it up. Actually, you could start out with someone that you had never hypnotized before, and just find some way to let them know that you're sure that they'll be able to do this very quickly because it's a very easy thing and it works for everyone, and I'm certain that you'll be able to do well. And of course, if you don't enter immediately into a deep state of hypnosis, it can present some problems for you, but I'm sure you'll be able to do this very well and then do it. This is a method, I'm going to have you stand here, this is a method that Brian Head from New Zealand uses in all his self-hypnosis classes. This is the method he uses to hypnotize somebody the very first time. Okay? They've never been hypnotized before, they haven't gone through a suggestibility exercise, they haven't done anything. Yeah, this is the very first thing that he does. Okay? He'll have a chair behind them because he's eventually going to sit them down in the chair. Are we getting any audio, Brian?
Yes.
Okay. He'll sit them down eventually in the chair, but the first thing that he does is he has them put their feet right together.
Together?
Yeah, completely together. Good. And I just want you to give me your concentration here. And as my thumbs come down, just follow them right down. Just let your eyelids come right down with them. That's right. Good. And just sleep right on down. That's right. You can stand. Your legs are strong beneath you. Okay? Now that's the whole induction right there. And I'll now back you up. And when you feel the chair against the back of your legs, Miguel, and you can back up easily. When you feel the chair, you sit down and you go deeper into hypnosis as you sit down way deep. That's right. And your head can rest gently forward on your chest there and you go even deeper. Okay? It's a nice feeling. It's just a real nice touch. And that's how gently he does it. He asks you to give me your concentration. Okay? Give me your concentration. Let your eyelids just kind of follow my thumbs right on down. You notice he doesn't say let your eyes follow my thumbs, because then they start going, oh, I can't look at both of them, which one am I supposed to look at, He didn't say look at my thumbs. He just says let your eyelids follow my thumbs right on down. And there's a real nice feeling to that drawing down, just a soft, but it's a touch, soft drawing down of the thumbs on the outside of the just barely outside the eyes there. And you can see that it's just beginning to happen right then. And then he does a very gentle version of the sleep thing. Okay, it's almost not necessary at that point, but it does take it a little bit further. And some people won't be in trance with just the eyes. Some people won't. Some people just close their eyes down and then they'll go into trance. There's really one kind of a fine point to what he does that I didn't do with my Dell, because her body size compared to mine is so easy for me to handle that that her balance or controlling her body is not a problem. I really didn't do that in the most delicate way. I was sort of behind her saying, okay, you can support yourself, kind of almost using my knee against hers a little bit. And if she was Ed or somebody, I might have had a little bit of a problem there. So there's really a way to do that that's a little nicer, and I'd like to show it without doing the induction. I'd just like to walk through it with some. Let me walk through with that. I won't do an induction now. I just want to show the mechanics of how this is done. And Mydell, I want you to be able to watch this too. So I'm going to gently and slowly bring you up because you want to relax all those muscles around the neck, head, and shoulders now. As I touch them, they're loose, limp, lazy. You feel good. Starting to come up. Anytime you'd like to open your eyes, you will do so. You'll be fresh, fully aware, feel good, very calm, very rested. All the muscles feeling great. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good. How's that induction for you?
Different.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
I didn't think that I was... I could feel my eyes going, and I guess I expected a bigger shock. I thought it was going to be more like the other one. It wasn't. It was real easy.
Real easy, real gentle, and if you're not confident with a big shock thing, you know, it's just a different way of entering in. And some people really prefer the boom, wow, right now feeling. I do, myself. I reach a much better state of hypnosis that way than any other way. You know, if somebody does an instant induction upon me, it works a lot better than the other methods. So.
Good. I feel much better coming out of it.
Good, good, yeah. Once in a while she has a headache. Yes, yes. In fact, just about, well, I'd have to have you take your glasses off. Just about like so. Gentle, but there, touch. Yeah.
Did you do a sleep kind of thing? I wasn't aware of anything after this.
Yeah, what I did after that, I don't know if I said sleep. Did I say sleep? I think I did. Yeah, just gently pulled her forward. And that's what I want to show more accurately now. Is that after he's done this, and to go ahead and put your feet together. And I want him to be a part of this too. So I've done this. You know, the eyes would be closed. And then what he does is he kind of rocks the arms a little bit. And now he's not tranced, so he's doing it for me, right? But I would be feeling, and he does this a few times, okay? Just nice and loose, just turn loose now. He does maybe one. Well, let's see, what's he do? He does three. He does right and left and right, and he sneaks that arm in there, okay? And he sneaks that arm in there, and he pulls him forward with that arm, okay? So it's real nice. He's just got a nice smoothness to it. Screwed up just by being there. All right, Corky, I want you to come forward now. Come forward to me. Come to adult now. Come to adult. I want to talk to adult Corky now. I want to talk to adult Corky. Let your mind be clear now. Let your mind be clear. Let your mind be clear now. Let your mind go calm. That's it. That's it. Corky. Yeah. Corky, I want to talk to you about something, okay? All right. You're fine. You can breathe fine right now. Corky, would you agree with me? Would you agree with me as an adult that one of the definitions of a crime in our society might be anything that disturbs the order of a society? Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? And crimes are usually punished, aren't they? Yeah. With your adult mind now, just thinking about it, not going back, just staying right here with me and thinking about it.
Okay.
Can you see how a part of your mind feels as though just being born disturbed the order of that little society, that little family, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mom got sick, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was never well after that.
Mm-hmm. Never well after that, yeah.
I did it.
Okay, now you know with your adult mind that you really didn't do anything purposely at all, did you? No. You were just born, And maybe some things happened. And maybe she had some problems after that. You know, and I know that with our adult minds. But there's a part of you that feels like you committed a crime just by being there, didn't you? Yeah. Now, I want to talk with that part of you that feels that way, all right? When that part of you that feels that you committed a crime just by being there, just by being born, Mom had problems, is able to hear me, I want you to answer by saying, I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here. You've been a part of Quirky's mind for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the very beginning, haven't you?
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about how you influence Corky's life as an adult now.
She doesn't have the right to have anything. She
Mm-hmm.
don't want to.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't have the right to have anything she wants. How come?
When you're bad, you can't have stuff you want.
Mm-hmm. What did she do that was bad?
It made Mommy sick.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Mommy's sickness.
She had to stay in bed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She always had headaches. She never had any strength.
Mm-hmm.
She was just sick a lot. I don't know why. But I did it.
Well, I'm confused there. You don't know why, but you did it. I don't follow that.
Well, I was told that she was sick ever since I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to be my fault. I don't know how I did it.
Okay. Okay.
I love Mommy. I wouldn't have done that.
I know that. I know that. Okay, here goes the great debate. Okay. Would you answer something for me? How come in society we have different laws for children than we do for adults?
Well, because children aren't responsible.
Okay, they can't really be held responsible because why?
Because they don't know better, because they can't reason.
They're too young, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so we don't have the same laws and we don't hold them accountable in the same way, do we?
Uh-uh.
No. So I wonder if you could explain something to me.
Uh-uh.
How can a little baby just being born possibly have done anything wrong at all?
I couldn't. It's impossible.
Yeah, but you've been telling me that that's why she doesn't deserve to have anything.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Does seem kind of a strange idea, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, what a dumb idea.
Sometimes we hang on to dumb ideas for a long time, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And can you begin to see that your idea about how she shouldn't have the things that she wants because she doesn't deserve them was based on that? Well, you called it a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Can you begin to see how all through her life, whenever she wanted something, whenever she got close to succeeding in something, were you the part that sort of stepped in and said, hey, this doesn't make sense, she can't have this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were just doing the best job that you knew how, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you kind of play the, well, almost like a probation officer in a way? I mean, she committed that early crime and you kind of had to have her check in with you all along, make sure she didn't get too free?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Didn't get too happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Why does everybody else get what they want?
well, seems that way sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah.
I don't like that.
Probably don't like it because you never felt like you got what you wanted.
Yeah, I never have.
Mm-mm.
I don't like that.
Can you begin to see, and would you agree, that in light of the new evidence and understanding about what really happened at the time of that birth, that there was really an incorrect or an unfair verdict that was handed down, that she was really innocent all this time? Yeah. You kind of kept her locked up for a long time, didn't you? Made her feel guilty. Guilt was kind of that lock on the door, wasn't it?
Oh, it feels awful.
Yeah, it does. Well, it seems like it's kind of time for a new trial, huh? Yeah. Now, I know that you weren't trying to hurt Corky all these years. I know that you were just doing what you thought was right, weren't you? So, I wonder if it's really necessary, now that you understand her innocence, I wonder if it's really necessary for you to continue to do the same job that you've been doing, or if it isn't time for a new job.
I want to change.
You always love to hear that from a client, right? What do you want to do?
I want what I want.
Which would be?
I want a neat job.
Describe it to me.
I love teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want my own room. And all my own kids.
Tell me about the kids. Tell me about the kids.
I want them happy and eager to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make it fun. I want to have a beautiful room, bright, pretty, full of fun things to do.
Can you say that a little louder to me?
Oh, I wanted to have a beautiful room, bright and pretty, and fun things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want the kids eager to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be happy. I want it to be happy to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And when the kids leave, I want them happy too.
You deserve that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Corky. I want you to just let your mind grow a little clear and calm now. And that part of you that's been acting as the probation officer for a long time now has a new job. This job is in charge of happiness. In charge of you being you. You said you want what you want. And that's what that part is in charge of. Knowing what you want. And setting about how to get it. Nothing can stop you from that, can it? Not when you deserve that happiness. Corky, I want you to imagine, when I count to 3, that your mom is sitting right across from you. And I want you to tell her how you feel. I want you to tell her about the birth. I want you to tell her that you understand what really happened now. Count of 3, she's there. 1, 2, and 3. There she is. Yeah. Mom, I want to tell you my feelings.
Mom, why do you keep telling you? It's my fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault. You wanted me. Why'd you blame me for feeling the way you felt? It wasn't my fault. I couldn't help it. Don't do that to me. Don't have that kind of control on me. Let me be me. Let me go. Quit judging me. Let it be okay just for me to want what I want.
Tell her it's going to be okay that way. It's not up to her to let it be that way. That's the way it's going to be.
Mom, I'm going to have things my way. If I let the damn car have a convertible on it, I don't care if you will like it or not. I want a convertible. Whether it's safe or not, I want it.
Now be your mom. Answer yourself.
Well, it's okay, Corky. If you want to get killed, that's okay. I don't care.
Be yourself.
Mom, be real. This is just stupid. I'm going to make my own decisions. If I want a Corvette with a convertible, I'll have a damn Corvette with a convertible. I don't care if it's unsafe or not. Who are you to tell me what I want, I don't want?
Be your mom.
Well, first you have to afford it. Thanks a lot, Mother. You have to put that in, don't you? Always have to put in about my financial status. I don't like that. I'm trying as damn hard as I can. I don't need you to throw up the fact that you're financially independent and I'm not.
What else do you want to say to her? I want you to tell her, if it feels like a truth to you, I want you to tell her that you are not responsible for anything that happened to her as a result of giving birth to you.
Mom, I'm not responsible for you getting sick. Better now. It's your decision, not mine.
It is her decision, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not my fault.
And if it's a truth, you tell her that you're not going to let her manipulate you anymore with her illnesses. Does she do that?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And you can see, can't you, how he just played into that because, my gosh, you used to think that you caused the big illness from the very beginning, didn't you? But now you know better. So you won't have to get sucked into that same kind of manipulative stuff anymore, will you?
You know, she still does that. When things don't go her way, she gets sick.
You know what?
What?
She'll probably keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably will.
Yeah.
But it's okay. That's her. I love her anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not my fault.
That's right. And that's real clear for you now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what else?
But you know, if I don't do things her way, sometimes she gets sick, and that's where I feel guilty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's real subtle.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
She did it this time when she was down too, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught it. I felt it. I've got a real hard time not feeling guilty, and I felt it. It was real hard. I didn't tell anybody how she made me feel, and it hurt, Rick. It hurt.
And you can understand now that that part of your mind that used to feel responsible for what happened at birth would have felt responsible for anything that ever happened to her after that, physically or anything else, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if I didn't do what she told me to do, she might get sick.
Right. But you can begin to understand now that that's become a real manipulative tool for her, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what?
What?
If you don't respond in the same way as you used to, she may stop doing it.
Oh.
But let me give you a hint.
What?
She'll probably get real sick a couple of times just to check it out.
Shit. I don't want to go through that.
No. You won't be going through that. She gets sick, remember?
Oh, it's her problem.
But you're right. You're right. It's her problem.
But I don't want to feel guilty about it either. Rick.
Well, what's the choice?
I guess I don't have to feel guilty, do I?
Well, it's kind of an innovative idea.
You're being sarcastic. Ooh, that's hard to stand up to my mother. That's hard. But I'll do it.
You can do it. Yeah. I'll tell you something, Corky. Every time that she tries to do any of the old games, the old manipulations, the old guilt trips, the old I'm sick, the old, well, don't worry about me stuff, a thought goes through your mind. Just like that. That says, I'm not responsible for you. It goes off like a bell. And a feeling washes down over your mind and over your body of knowing with intense clarity that you never did anything to intentionally hurt that woman. You feel that clearly. You know it. And it's always there, as clear as a bell for you. And should you ever start to do something in response to her manipulations when you really don't want to, a bell goes off in your mind so loud that you stop right in your tracks. And it becomes immediately clear to you that was an old behavior and that you're not responsible for her. Doesn't mean you can't give. Doesn't mean you can't help her. Doesn't mean you can't love her, check on her, do things for her. It just means that you do them when and because you want to do them. And you no longer reinforce that old behavior that she has done for so many years. And you know what else?
What?
You understand really clearly that when you make that change and she accelerates the old behavior, you have a real easy time detaching yourself temporarily at that point and understanding that it's just a bit of withdrawal that she has to go through, and it'll pass. And that were you to jump in and do the old behaviors again, that you're just making her weaker. I know you don't really want to make her weaker, do you? See, because you're taking away her ability to respond, because you're doing it for her in the past. Take away her ability to respond, you take away her ability to be responsible. Don't you? Because that's what responsible really means, able to respond. Yeah. So now that you stop doing that for her, she can become more responsible for herself, can't she? Yeah. That's the greatest gift you can give her, you know. The greatest gift you can give herself. Corky, I want you to check something. I want you to go deep within in your mind's eye. And I want you to kind of scan your body. I want you to get a sense if there's some place where there seems to be some sort of a cord or something attached. Sort of like an umbilical cord or a big cable or anything like that attached to your mom. Attached to you. It may be. I want you to check and tell me where it is. It's in your stomach. Put your right hand where it is. Yeah. I want you to do something very important if you're ready to do it. In a moment, I want you to begin, not yet, but in a moment I want you to begin to very gently, but very firmly, loosen and release that from that area of your body. Now there may be almost like little roots, little tentacles in there, so I don't want you to do anything hard and fast and jerky. I want you to be firm, but I want you to be steady and gentle. And to make it easier, I want you to imagine that whole area now, as I touch it, just becoming very warm, like a warm healing oil just going into that area. So everything is very loose. Feels good, doesn't it? Everything's very loose and easy, and all that cable just slides right out so easy now. Yeah, that warmth stays there, and I want you to begin to just loosen that now in your mind's eye. Make sure that you gently but steadily get every bit of it. In a moment, give me a report. Tell me what's happening, how it's coming. It's coming out, yes. And you feel such a freeing as it comes out. You realize you're no longer attached in that same way. You're a separate person. That's right. Now just fill that area up with that beautiful, warm feeling. Just let it go right into that area now. Fill up that void with that warmth and that love and that light. Just fill up that area. And just feel yourself sort of floating away, separate from your mother. She's a separate person from you. She can be a special person to you, but you're not connected in the same way anymore. And that feels good to you. It's a change. It's time to grow up, Corky. It's time to take care of yourself. It's time for you to have what you want. Your mother doesn't have the same ability to control you anymore. She doesn't have the same connections anymore. She's there if you need her, and you can be there for her too. But you're free now. It's time to grow up, take care of you, isn't it? Yeah. I want you to tell me what you're feeling right now.
I feel scared.
Mm-hmm.
I feel all alone. I feel scared like I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. I understand. It's a change, isn't it?
Ooh, it's scary.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Okay. Would you like some help with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want you to begin to imagine. Remember that nice warm feeling?
Oh, yeah.
I want you to begin to imagine that surrounding you like just like a shield. I'm going to use the word armor, but it's not really the right word, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a golden protective light all the way around you.
Okay.
And it just surrounds you like a protective coat. And it's always there. It's always there. It protects you in every situation. It allows you to be in difficult situations without absorbing that stress. It allows you to always feel that, well, you're never really alone. You have that special help, that special protection. And you know that you're a very strong individual. Corky, you know, and I've said this to you before, that I've never met anybody who has made as many changes in as short a time as you have. It's almost comical to look back at what life was like when I first knew you, wasn't it? Yeah. It's like another world. You're a very strong lady. And now, you can also be a very happy lady, too. Because you deserve to have the things that you want. Success comes flowing to you. Success always flows right through that protective coating. In fact, it's attracted to it like a magnet. You know what else? That protective coating kind of keeps you from molding yourself differently than the real you. When you're in situations and relationships with men and with other people, you always have a strong sense of who and what you really are. Yeah, sounds kind of good, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
You know how special you are. And there's absolutely nothing you have to give up to be with anybody else. You deserve to have the very, very best. And because that's the way you feel, those are the kind of people you attract to you. It's like tuning to a different dial on the radio. You get a different station, don't you? You know, you no longer attract relationships to you that are based upon their feeling that they can control you or manipulate you in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what you are.
I'm special.
That's right. You're very special. In fact, nobody on this earth has ever expressed life exactly as you have, and nobody ever will again, or there wouldn't be any point in you being here, would there? That's right. There are things that are better done by you than anybody else.
I know that.
Yeah. Corky, each and every one of those suggestions is making a deep and a lasting impression upon your subconscious mind, never to be removed. And every day brings you closer to the more powerful and positive expression of those personal goals in your life. Everything's unfolding for you in a wonderful new way. You're excited about the changes. I want you to especially feel that warmth in the shoulder. It's going to every muscle, every tissue, every bone, every ligament, every cell. Just healing and soothed. All the tissues relaxing, going back into their perfect balance. That whole area is just, well, it's just like a soothing warm oil is in there. Lubricating everything, allowing it to move smoothly. Oh, you realize you don't go out and do cartwheels. You realize your shoulder's still healing, but it's healing more quickly, more powerfully, more perfectly than ever before. All those tendons and ligaments glistening white, strong, healthy. Perfect blood flow to that area now. Bringing all the necessary nutrients and oxygen, carrying away all the old waste toxins. That area is able to heal at an accelerated rate. Feels better, stronger, and it is better and stronger with every passing day. Corky, before we finish, is there anything else that you want to tell me about or ask me about?
You know, the only thing that bothers me is that when Mom was down and we were talking and I told her about some of the stuff that was bothering me, she said that it wasn't like I thought. How come I think one thing and she thinks something different? Does that make me wrong?
Have you ever gone to a movie and liked it? Ever heard somebody else tell you they didn't like it?
Yeah.
Guess you were wrong, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. They just had a different set of experiences. They looked at it through a different set of eyes, didn't they? Yeah.
Oh.
See, it doesn't mean that she's right and you're wrong, or you're right and she's wrong. You can both have truths, can't you? See, looking at the world through her eyes can be a very different thing than looking at the world through your eyes. She remembers things the way she remembers them, and you remember them the way that you remember them with your new understanding in place now. So there's no need to convince her or get her to agree. Maybe she needs to believe things the way she believes them. I mean, she needs to get sick sometimes. If she's going to get sick, she has to have a different set of beliefs than somebody who stays well like you, right? Yeah. Let it go. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Corky, at the count of 5, you're going to open your eyes. You're going to feel very, very good. Especially your shoulder's going to feel good. Especially your heart and stomach are going to feel good. Different. Better. That's right. 1, slowly, gently, easily, calmly returning to your full clarity and awareness once again. 2, just let every nerve and muscle and fiber in your body be loose, limp, lazy. You feel good. 3, you're strong. You're special. And you're free. Probation's over. Parole's over. Jail's over. You're free. You're pardoned. Deal? Yeah. 4. Getting ready to open your eyes, fresh, clear, and alert now. Looking forward to your evening. You'll sleep great tonight. And 5, eyes wide open and feeling fine.
Oh, God, I cried again.
Just notice that?